Hi guys, good afternoon. Welcome to this week's Coffee Convo Thursdays. So our question for this week is, okay, are you guys ready? Our first
Yep.
question is, what is the possibility of making hybrid events using digital technology? Okay, so since the word in the sentence is
Digital.
digital, I'm gonna start with Rafi.
And don't forget there's events. Anyway, yeah, the possibility. Actually, it's very possible. There are a lot of different ways you can do digital events. Okay. There could be you can have a real live event and have inject digital stuff in it. Like for example, you might have a location aware app that has augmented reality so that you can interact with the live environment. So that's one thing that's in my mind that qualifies as a hybrid event where you have digital and live events interacting. The augmented reality can add information to what you're looking at, whether it's additional product information or it could be an extra video that we'll see when you point it at an area or any other media. Now, if you flip it, you can have events done online, like this one. Technically, it's an event done online. So, and then there are other things that are being developed, like beyond the webinar, beyond panels and such. You have you have such things as virtual trade shows. For me, that qualifies as a hybrid digital event wherein you you render a virtual environment where you can walk through it and act like as if you're in an actual trade show. In fact, I'm really interested in developing something that looks like a first-person shooter game, but you do it in an environment for that's appropriate for an event. So, yeah, that's how I think you can do hybrid events. So, Tanya, what do you think? What do you think about that?
Okay. I'm Tanya. I'm the events head for Incognitos. And even for other services, I handle engagement. That being said, for me, the most important thing when you're trying to do a hybrid event is to make sure that you still have number one, be able to build awareness, whether it's a product or service you're talking about or an issue. And number two, connection. Because that's why people attend events. They want to build networks. They want to make connections with people with the same mindset, the same interest. So you want to make sure those two things are still available. May it be a hybrid event or a fully digital or virtual event. But I think whatever your issue, your event, your product or service may be, you have to start at your why. So whatever event you're trying to put together, go back to your why, your purpose, because you have to make sure that it is covered in whatever format you choose to hold your event on, whether in person or on ground or online or digital. So going back to your purpose, make sure that you don't copy paste what you plan to do for a live event and make that
Yeah,
a virtual event because it doesn't work that
right.
way.
I agree. I
So
agree.
right? Diba? So you have to go back to your purpose first. Go back, see what do you want your audience to see. What do you want them to feel? What do you want them to experience? And then from that, start planning. And like what Rafi said, having it on digital and live gives you a way to give more information, give them redesign a world for them. That's hard to do with live events. But the most important thing here is to make sure they're still engaged. They're still able to make connections. And one thing I've been able to see that done on the virtual atmosphere is number one, you can start with breakout rooms. Like let's say you're discussing a product or a topic, you can post that question and then break them out into smaller groups because people are inherently shy in a bigger room. So make them go into smaller rooms where they're free to discuss, make connections, so that when they go back to the bigger room for the virtual event, they're more comfortable and you can go straight to the topic or the experience you want them to have. So because to transfer your live event to a digital event, video and media plays a big part of it. Let me turn you over to Henry.
Hello. Hello, my name is Henry, no. I'm a filmmaker, and I produce content for, let's say, YouTube or Facebook. Uh, I think it's already happening eh. It, first we have to define what do you mean by events. Parang I think slowly it's already happening because we have webinars, which I think you can consider as an event. But at the same time, tama si Tanya when she said that you should use uh, use the technology to know what you want and use the technology to create the event, not transpose an outdoor event and then just bring it to the digital world. Kasi
Mhm.
ang possibilities ang laki.
Yeah.
Think about it. Even now, I can now create an event. I can create a
Yes.
contest right now between the
Mm-hmm.
three of us.
Yes.
For
Right.
example, di ba?
Yeah.
Example, pagalingan tayo kumanta. Sino manalo?
Yes.
Papadalahan ko ng
Correct.
coffee cup.
Correct.
So,
Correct. Yeah,
so
that's an event.
ano yun eh, ang maganda kasi sa digital age ngayon, instead of thinking of it as being constrained because
Mhm.
nasanay ang tao sa usual events na malalaki, they should embrace it kasi you can now create events on scale.
Yeah.
For one, ang ganda kasi now have free technology like Zoom, for example, our cell phone, our own laptops. We can actually now create events just by inviting people and then telling them, oh, here's what we're going to do. So
Right.
that's a very simple event, and then we can scale up to those events na katulad ng sinabi ni Rafi. But I think ang maganda kasi sa internet is that it gives a chance for the company or the
Mm.
owners or even the
Mm.
owners of the company to interact with the customers.
Yes.
Makes it more personal. So it doesn't
Mhm.
have to be that big event. I mean, you can make
Mm.
it into a popular event. For example, if you make
Mm.
a broadcast ng galing ng host,
Yeah.
naaliw yung mga tao, and then
Yeah.
you can talk about yung actual products, di ba? Like for
Yeah.
Mhm.
example, right now, how do I get good supply of coffee? Di
Mm.
ba? I mean, I can, instead of just an event, I can create a virtual show that concentrates on coffee, which has
Yes.
been
Right.
happening in other industries even before COVID.
Mhm.
Like
Before.
I
Yeah.
mentioned, di ba, there are niche markets that already are
Yeah.
producing programs that are
Yeah.
specific to their technology. And now they don't have to do all those marketing hypes. They can actually talk about the actual products because
Yeah.
Yes.
people, they get to talk to their actual customers. It's not anymore a shotgun method wherein,
Yeah.
like for example, if you create a TV show or even if
Yeah.
you invite people from your own, for example, from your own industry, it's different if you have a show that really talks about the actual technology or the actual product with people who actually use those products.
Right.
So
Right.
instead of think, actually dapat ma-excite yung mga tao because it's very exciting. Very exciting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Sorry, to add na lang. Sorry, I know 15 minutes lang pero na-excite ako eh. To add
yes,
na lang,
go ahead.
ang daming technology lumabas ngayon. Ang galing ng Rode.
Mm.
Rode, for
Yeah.
example, came up with Procaster. Procaster now, before kasi, if you want to do podcasting, or if, for example, you're a host, di ba?
Mhm.
Normally, you have to know yung technology, yung EQ, how to use the EQ, how to use -1 if someone calls. Now, they
Right.
created a product that's really packaged for the podcaster. So,
Procaster. Okay.
ang galing, galing, galing.
Yeah.
Procaster or podcaster. Kasi mic yung
Yeah.
isa tapos sa'yo.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw a similar one for video, and I'll just add. Actually, I ended up just answering the question directly. Na yeah, it's possible
Mhm.
from actual event na may virtual, then virtual na transpose mo. So I'm just glad that you did bring out the fact na that's the easy part. Because of the technology, as Annie mentioned, that's the easy part. thank you for emphasizing na you have to know your purpose, why you're doing this.
Yes,
Para
correct.
you don't just transpose. You have
Mm-hmm.
to deliver pa rin the message. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Yun lang. Thanks.
So far, guys, there's no questions yet in the chat pane. So, we can,
Really?
yeah, none yet
Sa
eh.
dami ng tao, walang nagtatanong. Did we answer it so that clearly?
Yes, it's that clear.
Nahihiya lang yan.
Yes. So
Okay,
next
nahiya
week,
lang.
guys, we expect you to be talking more, but since you're not talking, we'll continue with our conversation.
Actually, don't forget to mention, Tanya, that you'll be setting up a Facebook group so that, if you don't feel like asking here or
Yes.
wala pa kayo maisip, you can ask in the group. We'll continue answering there. Okay?
Yes. Kasi,
Okay.
yeah, the thing about this is we want it to be candid conversations, things you're afraid to talk to your boss about, the things you're afraid to talk to your teammates about. So we're an anonymous group of people who are sharing the same road you're in. Iba-iba man tayo ng industry, we're all on the same path, ang daming changes, but ang dami
Mhm.
ring opportunities. So having this group allows us to explore this without fear, without worry, without having to people please because you don't really know each other in person.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what this coffee conversation Thursdays is about. It's a breather from having to worry and instead just being able to talk candidly about what's worrying you, what's exciting you, and the Facebook community that we're gonna build is an extension of that. So yun. So to add lang to this is a good way for me. What strikes me about hybrid events, it's a good way for digital and events and video to actually work hand in hand because video becomes the enabler. It's the media that transfers the event and enables it to transition into the digital space. And yung fact is, sobrang daming solutions available online. So being the reason why I brought up purpose in the first place is it's to choose kung anong bagay for your this very event. Kasi if not, sobrang dami, di ba? Sobrang daming programs, apps, and different software you can use. But having your
Actually,
purpose
yeah.
nga, identifies yung bagay. So your audience
Yep.
feels na it's not forced, it's natural, it's organic
Yeah.
for them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
And
guess
actually,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I guess yun yung what's similar with what you do sa actual live event, di ba? Even before you can think of the event, you should know what your goal is, di ba?
Yeah.
What you want to achieve.
Yes.
Kasi if you don't know what your goal is and what you want to achieve, even if we have all the technology in the world,
Mhm.
for
Right.
one, it will be a waste of time and money.
Yes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
two, it's confusing because you don't know what technology to use,
Mm-mm.
di ba? Because precisely nga, you have no idea what
What your
what's your goal,
purpose is. Yeah.
what's your purpose is. Kasi, ano naman anything with the right amount of money can be done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pero
Right.
ang problema, ano ba yung tamang way gawin ng isang bagay
Mm.
na hindi siya mahal or
Mm.
or siya yung pinakamurang possible na gastos
Mm-mm.
para ma-achieve ang pinaka-maximum thing na gusto mong magawa.
Right.
So,
Well
Right.
it
said.
boils down to what do you really want.
Yeah. What experience you're creating? Because actually, I was gonna tell you, Henry, even if you know your goal and purpose and it's sobrang linaw, sa dami ng technology, mako-confuse ka pa rin.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Di ba?
So I think
So-
siguro to clarify or to add to what Henry said, maganda that you know your goal, pero you know then where your audience is starting from. So when you
Yeah.
know where they are, you know na the road they're gonna take to that goal. So you know what software or tools or technology to
Right.
add on to get them from point A to point B. So it's really
Okay.
not just learning the goals and who you're talking to, but the journey na titake nila to get to that goal, your target outcome for the event.
Can I give a tip?
Go
Yes,
ahead.
please. Of
I'll
course.
give a tip kasi I'm not sure if this is exactly what because I covered a Amazon web
AWS, Amazon Web
AWS,
Services.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
web services. And the way they approach things, yung sabi nga lang sa company, is that whereas before you have to plan something big, you have to, for example, your events are based on certain marketing strategies. Diba? Ano ba yan? I'm not sure. Is it 2 years or what? Diba? You have a
Yeah,
certain strategy, and
before.
then you have to have
Mm.
a budget usually, and the event has to fit that budget, and then you have to give proposals and stuff like that. It takes a long time before you can actually uh, pitch and then finally do the event.
Yeah,
Uh, so there's a big long process even before they reach us. Even before they reach us, there's a long process, di ba?
right.
That's involved. Um, Now, what happens though kasi is people, customers, and trends move so fast.
Mm-hmm.
They change their mind so fast. So
Yes.
kailangan
Yeah,
ka doon. Ang
yeah,
problem is if it's too big or too, it the plan was made by a committee and it has to pass through certain channels. Ang nangyayari is naiiwan sila. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
ang ginagawa ng AWS is that they already have the back end. In our
yeah,
case, we can consider Zoom as a back end and
yeah,
our own technology as back end becomes
yeah,
more organic.
yeah,
They do it by scale. You do it malit lang muna. But you have to do it fast. Try it
Yeah.
out.
yeah,
Kasi ang
yeah,
sinasabi nila is that it doesn't matter if nagkamali ka because it's such a small amount of money. Ang point nun is to be able to communicate with your client, like what we're
yeah,
doing now, di ba? We're trying
yeah,
out this coffee event right now. Even if, for example, for the first time, wala masyado tayo nakuha, doesn't matter. We keep doing it, we keep doing it, and
yeah.
then eventually we get to talk to people. So I guess yun nga yung we
Mm-hmm.
have to think of the digital age as something different.
Mm.
There are similarities in terms of knowing what you want, but
Mm.
there are differences, challenges, and opportunities na
Yes.
Yeah,
iba talaga siya. Ibang iba.
yeah, yeah. I like yung
Sorry.
inuulit ni
Yeah.
Henry.
So back
Inuulit
to
niya
my
na yun.
back to my tip. I'm sorry, I segue for a while. Yung
Mm.
actual tip ko, nangyayari kasi is, if you have an event in mind or planned event in mind, ito yung nakakatawa eh. You can actually
Mm.
search sa YouTube
Mm.
how to
Yes.
do this, how to do that.
Yeah.
Tapos you can
Mm.
see kung sinong successful and hindi. And then
Yeah.
ang maganda kasi ngayon, it's a community. It's not like before, years ago, that everything is state secret. Everything now is out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So, ang point
Yeah.
lang nun is, for example, if somebody wants an event, either he looks first sa YouTube, ginagawa ba to? Successful or hindi. And then later on, he or she thinks na, okay to but I need help. Diba?
Yes.
Ang daming
Mm.
tao dyan, we can help them.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
We can definitely help them.
Yeah.
So, ang point nun is, think of it as an opportunity.
Definitely. Yeah.
Parang ngayon, di ba? Parang lahat tayo, wow, sa quarantine tayo, we can do. That's it.
Yeah. Very good point. Yeah.
And
Opportunity.
related to kay Henry naman, ako, the tip I'd give here is doing events for the past 10 years. Oops, more than. Pero mare-reveal na masyado ang age.
Mm.
So, basically, doing events, parang it teaches you to step out of your comfort zone. Because when you talk to clients, it's what hasn't been done before. Ano yung hindi pa sawa yung mga tao or hindi pa nararanasan ng audience ko. Kasi I'd want to deliver that to them. So, ever since events was about breaking your limits, stretching you beyond what you've done before, and trying out new things. So, I think for anyone who wants to go into hybrid events, since we also do digital and video productions, do not be afraid to step out of your comfort zone because once you toe the limit and once you go beyond where you think you can lang, you actually discover new and amazing things. Ako, working with you two, I've learned a lot about video and digital na I wouldn't have known without, trying it out, trying to work with you guys. And bilang ako traditional events person, it can be scary at first. But when you think of the possibilities and what Henry said, think of it more as an opportunity. Things will pay off naman once you're and especially now in a day and age when all the information is out there, and there are actually people who have done this before in the past. Sorry, I kind of talk fast and I'm excited. So yeah, it's actually not only the resources, but there are actually people who've done this before us who are willing to share. So start asking, start doing, and yeah, don't be afraid. Think of it not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth. There.
Yeah. So, sorry for interrupting ako.
Okay.
Napuputol yung connection ko.
I thought you were
Okay.
telling me to slow down.
No, no, you were good. You were good. Guys, sorry, I have to go.
Okay, you're
Okay,
gonna.
I'm really sorry.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
so
It's okay.
cheers.
Yes, yes.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah. Oh,
Continue next week,
yeah.
everyone.
Actually, may cerveza negra akong binili. For later. Okay. Sige, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye, Rafi. Bye, Tanya. Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Thank you guys for attending our first session. We'll be back next Thursday. Please watch out for the details of the next session and the question we're going to talk about. Thank you so much. See you next week.